So the first fight I want to talk about for the UFC Shenzhen card is Anthony Hernandez versus Park Jun-un. I think it's the first card of the opening at 3 a.m. Eastern time. But out in Vegas, I think, what is that, like midnight? So it's not that bad for people out in like Vegas or like West Coast. Just 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock fight ends, late night. Anyways, Anthony Hernandez and Park Jun-un. Um, I've seen Anthony Hernandez fight 2 times. The first time he fought on the Dana White's Contender Series, and he fought a guy that kind of looked out of place to me. It was almost like a kid who like was put into karate as a kid and like kept with it at the same gym, and now he's like 23 years old and like maybe he can fight. That's like he kept throwing these weird side kicks. He just looked like a little out of place. And Anthony Hernandez has a right hand and went in and knocked him senseless, unfortunately. So Anthony Hernandez is shown himself to Dana White and the MMA community as a guy with a powerful right hand. Knocked this guy out cold on the Contender Series, and we're gonna give him a shot in the UFC. Now his first fight in the UFC, I forget the name, and I'm not gonna go rewatch the fight, but so he fought a guy named Marcus Perez, and and he ended up losing in an anaconda choke in the second round. And what I saw was, as a guy who has a right hand and wants to knock you out, and that's his skill, and that's what he does, and that's okay. But the problem is, after the first round, I saw a serious cardio issue, and he has 1 round. From what I've seen, he has 1 round of, at the most, he has 1 round of effort before he just completely gasses out and is no longer effective, no longer carries that knockout power against the Perez guy. And the Perez guy knocked him out, or took advantage of that and put him in an anaconda choke. So, the Park Jun-un guy, I think he's part of Korean top team, and he's at a good gym, decent gym over in Korea. You see a lot of Korean fighters come over to UFC, and he's undefeated in his last 6 or 7 or something. And he's traveled Asia, he's traveled China, fighting in these different promotions, and he also wants to stand, and he's not a takedown artist. He wants to stand in the center of the octagon and throw his hands. And I just think I think it's going to be an exciting fight, and I just think he has too much experience, and his experience will make a difference in this fight. And if it gets out of the first round, I think Anthony Hernandez doesn't have a chance anymore. From what I've seen from this Park Jun-un guy, he is capable handling himself in the octagon, and he has power, and he can kick you. Like he has stand-up skills, and I think his experience makes him a fantastic. I think he's an underdog at plus 170 was when he started out, and he's just a fantastic play. Like I think he's too experienced to just get knocked out by a right hand in the first 2 minutes of the fight when you know that's all your opponent has. And I think Park Jun-un is gonna win this fight in a second round knockout. He's gonna get out. He's gonna survive the first round and maybe a back and forth. Hernandez might be getting the better, but in the second round, he's gonna take this fight over, and I think he's gonna knock him out in the second round or finish him. He doesn't have much of a jiu-jitsu game, but he's gonna knock him out in the second round. So if you're gambling and you're betting on this UFC fight at 3 o'clock in the morning, I think that Park Jun-un is a fantastic play.